Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show. Happy Friday! Hello everybody. Welcome to our live show. Whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and hit that, notification button so you don't miss a show. Say hello to Mr. HP, my producer, who's going to push all the right buttons today.
Yeah, man, I'm pushing the right buttons.
So thank you for being here. If you are new around here, say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where you're tuning in from, and then make sure to comment throughout the show, ask questions, thumbs up, hearts, all that good stuff. We're only bringing good vibes. Good vibes only, please.
That's right. Good vibes, people.
Yes,
good vibes.
Good vibes only. And just by giving us some good vibes in the comments, you have a chance to win a $25 gift card.
What?
So I hope your Friday is going well. I know, I think the weather patterns all across the country are in a tizzy. We have pretty hot down here in Florida, and I know it's cooler up north where it was 90 degrees last weekend. And
yeah, so it's kind of cool in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, it was like 80 or 90 just the other day.
It's just you can't live your life based on the weather, right?
True that.
You just can't. I learned that growing up in Iceland. You cannot plan because if you make plans, they are for sure not going to come through with the weather. But anyways, let's dive into our show. Every Friday, we like to celebrate Fridays with a little something good in a glass. And this month, the month of May, we have a theme of tequila cocktails. So we've been drinking some margaritas, yes, but there are some others. There's some others. And I thought, on a hot day like it is here, it's a little bit humid. You kind of get thirsty as soon as you walk outside the door.
Yep.
I thought I'd give you my ultimate margarita recipe. Now, this is the ultra one.
Ooh.
So this one is potent. I'm just going to say that right up front because there's tequila and then there's two different kinds of orange liqueur to give you two different dimensions. And so there's no other sweetener. I like to kind of have my sweeteners for a drink to have a little oomph. So either be, not just simple syrup if we can get away with it.
So what you're saying is,
so what we're saying is, be careful, sir. So here it is, my Ultra Margarita.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any orange juice, so I used pineapple juice. It's still tasty and yummy.
Whoa.
I really...
Woo! All right, folks, here we go.
I do really miss a little bit of orange in there, but, it's still good. It's still good. And it's still ultra. So cheers, everybody. Happy Friday.
I'm going to be ultra silly by the end of the show.
Speaking of being silly, nothing silly about your quote of the day, is it?
I got a quote of the day,
You got
folks.
a quote of the day?
This is the quote. The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slow, and lie about your age.
Ooh.
Do you lie about your age? Do you ever lie about your age?
I really don't. I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm not a good liar. I'm too freaking honest.
How about you? Did you ever lie about your? I think we lied about our age when we were too young.
Yeah, I think the only time where I had a hard time turning anything, like I had a really hard time when I turned 30. I felt so old.
The 30s is where I started forgetting my age. Like 32, 33 was like, I don't know, I'm 30 something.
It was something about turning 30. And then 40, I was celebrating. And 50, I was like, yes.
I'm like 50, I can wear my house shoes outside and can't no one say anything about it.
What does 60 do to you? Are you 60? You're 60, honey.
You forget about everything. You don't. I'm 60 years old. I don't know.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. Have you lied about your age?
When you're 60, you want to be 30 again. You just drink more of these.
You just act 30. I mean, it's all about how you act. Age is just a number. And if anybody tells you to act your age, tell them to just shove it because there's no such thing.
Just tell them.
There's no such thing.
Whatever age you want to be.
Just be you. 100% pure, simple. Be yourself.
Sometimes my back and my knees tell me.
I don't even know my age, they said. To check my birth certificate. I love it.
Who cares about
Oh,
age?
they're commenting how extra snazzy you're looking today.
Oh.
With your little new, is this your new rock and roll?
This is my new 60 and over look.
You're going to be wearing ascots from now on?
I'm wearing ascots, man. I forget everything else. I'm going ascot.
Shirts and ascots.
Yeah,
You should see, you know, sometimes when you do shows, like the fashion stops at the waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing shorts,
Don't
sneakers.
I got my nice slacks and my nice shiny shoes on. They don't need to know that I got my sneakers and shorts on.
Well, they don't know that I have my house shoes on.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all good.
All good.
But it's a fun day today. Lots of great national days. It's National Bike to Work Day. Did you bike to work? We didn't even leave the house to be at work, so we didn't have to bike. But we're going to bike tonight to dinner.
We're going to bike tonight.
Yes, we love biking. Yeah. It is National Work from Home Day. Hey, that's us.
That's right.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
It is National Malcolm X Day.
Oh,
So awesome. I was wondering about that because sometimes, you know, why it was on this day. So it's close to his birthday. His birthday is on, I think it's the May 21st or something like that. And so they have National Malcolm X Day on the Friday closest to his birthday or something like that. Third Friday or whatever, yeah. So it is. It is that. National Classic Movie Day. Now that is something that you know a lot about.
I love classic movies every day.
You love classic movies.
It's like there's no movie I want to see these days. I just go always back.
You know, I'm going to admit to something because when we were dating, you know, and we're going to have a movie night,
What?
You would put on like really old movies, classic movies, but really long ones, like 10 Commandments.
Oh, that's my favorite. I can watch that every day.
It's like 4 hours.
It's awesome.
And then I was like, okay, you lost me like in the first 15 minutes.
But you stayed there.
You
fell
but then
asleep.
you would fall asleep and I would be stuck watching this until I just figured out to change the channel.
Well, tonight you have to watch the whole thing.
Me? Tonight?
Yeah, because it's classic movie day.
Oh, right. But can I pick the classic movie?
I guess.
Thank you. Yay, yay, yay.
Fine.
Okay, it is also National Barbecue Day. That sounds good. That sounds like a good dinner. Pizza Party Day.
Oh, come on now. Now you're talking.
Yeah, we do have a pizza oven. And it's National Mimosa Day. Well, it's margaritas for us, so I guess we're going to have to roll the Mimosa Day over a day to tomorrow. Tomorrow morning sounds like a plan.
That works.
Well, I hope you are enjoying whatever appeals to you. Have some barbecue and pizza and some mimosas, maybe.
Cheers,
or
everybody.
Or a margarita.
Yeah, cheers. Or just a nice cold glass of water.
Or that.
I have that here.
Always. Mine is right here, too. Never too far away.
You got to have that.
All right, let's dive into some of our favorite segments, our show and tell. So let's check out the quilts that you've submitted to our Goodness Quilt crew on Facebook. We are starting off with a beautiful JoJo quilt made by Deb. Really love the colors. I love that she added a lot of white in there, or low volume whites. It really gives a lot of variety, makes the quilt really light and airy. That's beautiful. Good job, Deb. Then we have a strips and salsa made by Dawn. You know, that was our strip along quilt last year, so I see a lot of folks finishing up their strips and salsas this time of year because we just kicked off our new strip along. I love this one. I love that, especially that little pop of hot pink. That's fun to have just that little burst of that throughout the quilt. Beautiful. Next up is Strip Twist made by Marcy. That was another strip along quilt a few years back. I love this one too. I love the neutrals. I love how your eye just gets really confused by sometimes the little strips are light and sometimes they're dark, and that's the fun part about quilting, isn't it? I love the light blue in the squares, just a really subtle color. For some reason, this quilt it belongs in Icelandic nature, doesn't it?
Awesome.
Love this. Good job, Marcy. Then we have Rebecca's Lucy quilt. Now that is gorgeous. Really love this one.
I love the patterns.
Yeah. So, I mean, Lucy has so many different layouts. It's such a fun pattern to make. And didn't we do this as a class pack?
I think so.
Yeah. I love Lucy. I love Lucy.
I love Lucy.
And all the different varieties. This is a great job, Rebecca. I love the colors. And here we have a quilt that we don't see very often. This one is from my Quilts of Iceland book. It's called Celtic Crossroads, and this one is made by Elaine. And this one is very similar to the one in the book. I really love this quilt. It like hits me in my heart. It's how much I love this quilt, because it really represents, if you have the book and have read the story behind it, it represents like the heritage of Icelanders, the genetic mix that makes up Icelanders, and so I really love it. Then we have Elsa and Anna and Elsa, made by Ruth. This is cute. By the way, Anna and Elsa is just like a perfect little pattern to make crib size quilts to kind of keep around for, those little babies that keep coming. And I really love this. It's the fabrics are really cute and fresh. Beautiful job.
Looky here.
Then we have Bev's London Calling quilt, all made up and
Fits
on
so
the bed.
perfectly.
I know, that is great
awesome.
on a bed.
Yeah.
I really have never seen it fit so perfectly on a bed.
That's perfect.
That bridge just fits.
I know, right?
Like, that's awesome, right over that pillow fold.
You can't never sleep in there. You just leave it like that.
Well, if you do sleep under it, you're going to have some great dreams of London. But yeah, we're counting down for our London trip. Counting down in end of July. It's going to come up fast. We're excited. This is great. Good job, Bev. Next up is Lori's Lexi quilt. And now this is fantastic. We don't see a Lexi with dark background very often, and this is just a perfect example how versatile that pattern is. Love this version. It makes me want to make one. Guess what? Always happens. Beautiful job, Lori. Love the colors. Next is Aria, made by Tamra. Oh, that is beautiful. Big one. I love it. I think this is the one made out of Night Sky. No, Starry Sky. What was the name of the fabric? I always forget. But anyways,
If you don't know.
I do believe this was made on our cruise. That was one of our cruise kits. And great job getting it all finished, because I know it was a big one. And it's beautiful. Perfect on that bed.
Reminds me of the cruise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome.
Love the quilting on this one. Wow.
This is Bob and Weave, made by Zena. Bob and Weave is in my Strip Your Stash book. And another one that is really super quick to make for crib size quilt for babies. And I think that's what she did. Beautiful quilting. Probably done free motion or free motion. I don't know if it was on a long arm or a domestic, but it's a beautiful job. Definitely custom quilted. So good. Great job, Zena. Well, thanks everybody for sharing. That's our show and tell today. Keep them coming, and Gudrun's Quilt Crew on Facebook. Now, if you watched our show on Tuesday, we were introducing some new products, and I told you we'd be introducing throughout the next week. Now, the two patterns, I just mentioned them briefly last Tuesday, but those are patterns that you already know. They are now available both as printed patterns individually and PDF patterns. And first up, of course, is Jolie. This was our quilt-along quilt in February, so lots of Jolies have already been made. And now the pattern is officially out and available in quilt shops and on our website, both in a printed format and a PDF. Now, I'm we made a few, but all of you made so many. We love this pattern. It's such a quick one, and it's very versatile. You just grab some fat quarters or grab some half yards, grab a bundle, and you really use most of the fabric. There's really not much waste. You have the option of swapping out the little squares to put like an accent color or multiple accent colors. So there's just a lot of variety and versatility in that pattern. It's one that I know I'm going to go to a lot for quick little gifts and quick quilts. But I thought, since it's been a while now since we did our quilt along, I sat down this morning and started collecting photos of Jolie's. Now I tried to do at least finished tops or finished quilts. So I didn't go all the way back and do all those partial blocks, but that was quite a lot of quilts. It's a lot of quilts that have been shared and posted. And I know some of them are just still, in progress. It's only been, 2.5 months since we did the quilt along. But I put it together into a slideshow. So I thought we'd play it. So extra show and tell with about, at least 200 Jolies. I love that the video ended on those two little boys with their matching Jolies.
So cool.
So cute. I love the one green and the one blue. That was perfect.
Now, someone said they can't hear us or video has stopped.
No.
Can you guys hear us?
We're
good?
still good.
We got a rig.
We're still good. Yeah. They're sending hearts.
Just
We're
give me
still good.
hearts and thumbs up.
Thumbs
just
up.
to make sure someone else is.
Yeah. We, of course, cannot guarantee anything, anybody else's Wi-Fi connections.
Sorry if you got jacked up
Wish we
Wi-Fi.
could. We would have such power if we could.
Man, if we could do that, whew,
Yeah, no issues.
yeah.
Well, Jolie is not the only new pattern. The second new pattern that came out last week officially at the show was the Felicity pattern. And Felicity, of course, was our retreat quilt this year. So now it is available in its printed format or PDF, just a standalone pattern. And this one is such fun. It was really fun teaching it because, you know, people saw photos of it and, you know, when they were signed up for a retreat, but once we started working on it, like the jaws kept dropping in how the blocks came together because it looks really complicated. It looks like a lot of little triangles, as you can see, and some diamonds and some parallelogram and some weird shapes. But would you believe that you actually just start with a simple shape like this? So let me show you. So you really start with, that's our shape. We make, this black is my background. So we make units like this, and then a reverse unit where this would be the background and this would be my color. We chop those up, and then we end up with two different blocks from that. So this is when we start. So all of these different shapes, we're always working with squares and rectangles. Folks, always squares and rectangles like many of my other patterns. And then we just have some fun in laying those blocks out together into 4 and 4, and then Felicity comes together like that.
Nice.
Super fun. That's my favorite thing to do, is take a shape, chop it up, and transform it into something that makes it fabulous, right? And of course, by trimming everything up, everything fits together. The stripology rulers, of course, make this process oh so easy.
Stripologized.
And yeah, I can't tell you how many people from the retreat have told me that people are in awe of their Felicity quilts. And you have some options in layouts, which,
Here's a question.
you know, when do the Felicity kits ship? We are preparing them as we speak. They should all be going out next week. We have had some delays in fabric, but I do believe that we are pretty set. So they will be shipping next week now that the pattern is out.
Awesome.
So should be coming. So I see lots of great Felicities coming too, because this is another pattern that can really show off really well in all kinds of fabrics. It looks great with dark background, light background, color background. So have something to have a lot of fun with. So quickly, I just wanted to mention the product we introduced on Tuesday, a brand new product that I've been working on for a couple of years, the new printed batting kit. So these are Quilt As You Go batting kits where the actual batting has printed lines on it that you follow, kind of like a sew by number or a paint by number type of a deal. So I'm going to show you here on the overhead. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty faint. So this is the Braid Runner midi. You see the printed lines on it. So you have your pattern, you cut out your pieces, and then you literally follow the numbers of what to stitch first. You lay your piece in, and then you lay the next piece on top, stitch, and then you fold it into the space. So it's really foolproof. If you are off a little bit, these placement lines are already there to help you position the next piece, so everything will still turn out really nice. It's going to stay straight. That was one of the things about Braid Runner back in the day when I was teaching it, that people would kind of start wavering off, but this is foolproof.
Keeps you honest, huh?
Yeah. This is fusible batting, really great batting. So you literally just fuse your fabric to the back, you cut out your pieces, and then you start sewing, stitching and flipping all the way. So this is the Braid Runner. Here's the Take It Easy. This is two different patterns we have now available. These will ship in July. We have them up on our website as a pre-order. And so it will be going to lots of stores in July because we got lots of interest in this at the H&H show.
That's a new song.
Yeah.
Stripping and flipping.
Stripping and flipping. Okay. That's not a sandwich like Stack and Whack?
Oh, maybe that's a good sandwich. Can you make me a strip and
Strip
flip?
and flip. Maybe that's a wrap.
Strip and flip?
That's a wrap, like a wrap, WRAP, not a RAP.
Okay. Hey, it's Friday. We're creating stuff, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
a couple
know.
more of these and we'll complete
Well,
it.
he, can I share something? He just asked for a refill already,
Shh,
which I'm not giving him.
Shh, don't tell people I'm already drunk.
All right. So let's, those of you that were wondering about Quilt As You Go, because, my teaching and all my life since stripology has really been a lot about stripology. Well, before stripology, Quilt As You Go, I was kind of known for that. I was the Quilt As You Go lady because my first ever pattern was a Quilt As You Go pattern. That's the pattern that kind of took me and brought me here because it sold, I think, over 150,000 copies of that pattern from the time it came out in 2003.
Wow.
And that's, guess who? Can you put that one up?
Which one?
The Braid Runner.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yes. So this was, of course, not the original cover. This one, we redid it when it had its 20th anniversary a few years back. So, but it's still selling. It's larger than the one we have. We call this one that we have in the printed batting, we call it the midi because it's the medium sized. I also had a pattern where we had a mini, but it's classic. It's so fun to play with the fabrics in it and just easy and fun to make. So let us know in the comments if you've made a Braid Runner.
Thank you, Braid Runner, for bringing Miss Goody into my life.
Oh, that's sweet.
Braid Runner, I love you.
Oh, he's definitely feeling the margarita.
I would say that if I wasn't drunk. No,
Okay.
I'm not drunk.
You're not drunk. All right.
Okay, maybe just a little bit. No.
Let's dive into an exciting thing that I told you from the top. It's Color Club reveal time. So this is our subscription program, our monthly subscription, where I send you 5 half-yard cuts of the same color inspiration. So great basics, but the inspiration comes from one photo, and we pull colors or fabrics that work really well with that photo in a theme. So these are made, I started this because, as you guys know, I use a lot of basics in my quilts. And even though I'm using bundles of collections, fabric collections, I always bring in basics. I show you that in every fabric pull, everything we show you, because I love having a variety of basics. It kind of acts as your palette. Like if you were a painter, you would have rows of tubes of paint. Those fabrics are my tubes of paint. And so that's why I started the club. And I'm so excited that some of you are still subscribed and love getting your monthly shipment of Color Club. So here is our inspiration, our Color Club shipment for the month of May. It's kind of a little fun personal one. So got my package. Let's pull out what it is. Goody's Color Club. Ooh. It is Forget-Me-Not. Yes, Forget-Me-Not, of course, are those tiny little blue vivid flowers that these actually, or a variety of these, thrive throughout Iceland's rugged landscape, and especially kind of in the highlands. And I'm not sure if all varieties are the same, but the ones that grow in Iceland, when you pick them, they have like the stem and the leaves have a little bit of a, should I say, like kind of a hairy feature to them, so you can stick them to yourself. And I think that's where the flower got its name, or at least that's what I was taught. That when you stick, because you stick it to yourself and then it's a forget-me-not. So if somebody gives you a forget-me-not flower, you're not going to forget them because it's stuck to you. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's a myth or not. But I remember especially one camping trip where there were forget-me-nots, lots of them, and I had covered myself, and some of my friends did too. Of course, we're all wearing wool sweaters, so all these flowers were just stuck to our clothes. So yeah, our poor moms had to pick it all up.
That is Alaska state
flower. Oh, I did not even know that. Well, that makes a lot of sense because Alaska's climate is or parts of Alaska Their climate is very similar to Iceland's. Yeah. But let's take a look at the beautiful, this really awesome specific blue. They're almost like a cornflower blue, but it's kind of like sky blue. So I had a little variety because in the actual flower, there's a little variety of blue in there. But let me show you these beautiful flowers. I'm starting with kind of the darkest hue. We like to also have a little variety within the pack so that you have a little range in value. So like what I mean is like from darks to lights. So starting with this beautiful, vibrant Spotsy fabric from QT. It's called Spotsy Blue. I don't know if you can see it, but it has lots of different little polka dots, but irregular. So it has tiny little pin dot that's darker. And then medium are all those little clusters of dots. And then we have a little bit darker medium hue in the back. So I really love this texture. This is a fantastic basic. Next one is another dot, but totally different. This one is called Hash Dot Sky. And I believe this one is a Michael Miller. Is it a Michael Miller? I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't have it on my selvage, but I think so. But anyways, love this one because it has that texture underneath the dot. And you see those lighter hues. You see how they still work together because it's the same color tone, but a lighter and darker value. So love this. And to round out the dots, we brought in one from Hoffman called Bubbles Ocean. So you'll see that this one has yet another hue here. So a little bit darker, but then the bubbles are a little lighter. So they come up a little white, but all in all, it will create that same hue. Then we have a Modern Melody. This one is a Henry Glass. So this is kind of a geometric print. Let me move this so we can see more of each one. A little bit of a geometric print. It has this almost like a little diamond and swirly shape, repetition throughout the print. But beautiful tone and a perfect, that light blue, sky blue tone in the fabric. And then finishing it off with a nice texture Toscana Oasis in this beautiful sky blue. The color is called Oasis. Toscana is a Northcott basic, something that is very classic, kind of that marbly texture. And we use that a lot. I have used it a lot in my quilts. So this rounds out our forget-me-nots. Beautiful fabrics. Now this color is kind of a cooler tone, but it really works well in many color combinations. And so you can pair it with something more monochromatic, going from navies into even purples and lavenders, and you get a more monochromatic kind of a finish. But then you can pair it with some warm shades on the opposite side of the color spectrum, like coral, orange, and yellow, for something more elegant and more contrasting. I also love just, if you want something light and fresh, pair it with some cream and some white, and maybe just one little tiny accent color to give it a little pop. Now, as we always do, we have 1 yard of those fabrics for a limited time. So if you want it, you know right away you want more of something, it is available currently. So we have the Toscana, we have the Bubbles Ocean, Hash Dot Sky, we have the Spotsy in the blue, and Modern Melody Sky Blue. Now all of these, any of these, would make a fantastic background because any quilt, if you use a sky blue background, it really will mimic that nature element of having our sky above us, and anything nature related or colors from nature are going to look great with this as a background. So that is our color club for the month of May. Our forget-me-nots that brought me back to early childhood camping trips. Now, I always like to run through our warehouse and pull out bundles to give examples of where these colors would fit perfectly into bundles. I didn't get to run around and show you them in person because I'm not there, but I did run around our website, and here are some great examples where these could be mixed in. This one is our deep blue fabric collection and a bundle, and so look at all those blues. Some of these would mix in there perfectly. And when you have a collection like this that's very textured, it's really good to bring in something subtle that's gonna ground everything. Same thing with this one is Eagle Pass. Very, very icy light blues in there. So some of the ones on the lighter spectrum in this collection, in this pack, would fit in perfectly there. Now, of course, this is a perfect blue, medium blue. So anything that is in a patriotic way, like Freedom Garden here, has those light blues, has those navy blues. So you could add some of these in for like that medium in between, and calming some of those florals. Same, I would say about the Garden Delight. Great tones with hints of blue. By adding more blue to it, you kind of freshen it up a little bit to add to those purples and lavenders. And then we have Industrial Imprints. I love this one. I love this line as it is, but it has a lot of textures, kind of a little monotonous. So bringing in something fresh like this would be great. Just a hint. Then we have Northern Blues. I mean, this is all blue anyway, but if you look at those prints, they all have other colors in it. So bringing something in that settles and kind of even amplifies the blue tendency is great. Puffin Rock, another great blue line already that, you need to make a bigger quilt. These would make a great addition. That's why I love having these in my collection, because I want to swap out. Maybe the balance is off. This next one is called Sensational. It's a really fun novelty line and all beachy, but you can see that every single print pretty much is novelty. So there's a lot going on if you're going to put them all together. So you need to break them up with something. So think about this one would be perfect for that, bringing in all those hues of blue, but they would fit perfectly. Same, I would say, with Shoreline. This is a really modern kind of a shore-inspired collection. All these types of blues, there's navy, there's teal, and so any of these would fit in there. And then we have Stars and Stripes. Just what I said before, anything patriotic, this is going to be a perfect addition. So I hope you are enjoying your Forget Me Not Color Club shipment this month. And you know what? There are spots open. So if you subscribe today before the end of the month, you will get this one right away in the mail, and then you'll still get what's coming in June. So they always ship on the 5th of the month. I did tell you, everybody, that we've been having a little bit of a supply chain issues with fabric deliveries, so which is why sometimes we can't ship right on the 5th. We are maybe just got our fabrics a few days before, even though we should have gotten it a month ago. That's just how it goes. And us at GE, we just roll with those punches. When they get here, we just roll up our sleeves, everybody in the warehouse, and we get them done. Because we know how important it is for you to get, and you're excited to get it. So it's fun, and extra thank you to all of you that have been a part of Color Club for such a long time. I think next month we'll round out 4 years of Color Club, and we'll celebrate. Wow. I know. I think it's amazing. And you know what? There's still new ideas up here for new colors. Promise you that. That will never stop. All right. So any questions on anything? Do you see anything coming up about anything we've been talking about? I'm going to take a sip of my cocktail because mine is not even...
Take a little sip.
Moving much.
Mine has moved.
Yes, it has. And it just left completely, didn't it?
Maybe a little bit.
All right. I have 2 collections to show you today. I have a brand new Halloween delivery. Something, last Tuesday I showed you glow in the dark from Lewis and Irene. Very cute, very Halloween. So much fun. This is Halloween. I want to say this is kind of the adult version, the girly version, because we have some pink and lavender and deep moody greens. Yes, this is Art Gallery. Gorgeous artwork. They come out with a Halloween line every year, and they are just so different and cool and fun. So this one is called Ghostly and Haunted, right? Ghostly and Haunted or Ghostly Haunted. And so I talked about the artwork, so just check this out. This is just so pretty. So there's ghosts in the graveyard, but the ghosts are pink. How cute is that? They got the haunted mansion, and even they're hanging from the clothesline. It's just such a fun play on everything. So this is one of the beautiful, beautiful prints, setting the tone for, I'm in trouble maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, next print up, similar colorway. This one has got potions and spells and potion books, kind of a collection of all the fun things. I love these like hands with the little crystal ball, all the little potions. And I love that little hint of lavender and pink. And then there's this really unique orange. Isn't that cool? And it's kind of the similar tone to the orange that we had in last week's Halloween collection I showed you. So that must be a little trendy. It's kind of like a tangerine orange, so much more yellow in it. But I always love how colors change and trends change. Another low volume, the crows on the branches and the little leaves are lavender. Just so much fun. I cannot wait to use this and make my Halloween quilt for the year. Then we have this beautiful forest, ghosty forest. So all the trees in these beautiful tones of orange and lavender and peach, and then there's pink ghosts flying throughout. So unique and so fun. We have a great geometric, a little stripe that has black stars on it. So this is more on the pinker sides, but staying in the same realm. We have the kind of novelty print with all the potions and stuff on the lavender background with that really nice amber gold in there. We have a second version of the Haunted Forest on a light green, but the trees are pink and lavender, and then the ghosts are this sage green. I love that little orange moon there too. This is just so fun and unique and creative. And then we have some cats, some cat faces on this plummy lavender background. They have different expressions, which is really fun. Love this one. It really reads as a check, and if you step away, it looks like a check, but it's actually cat faces. Do you know what a check is?
Check.
A check print?
No, I don't.
It's like a checkerboard.
Okay. Now I know.
Now you know. So then, this is upside down. I gotta show it right way. So these are this really cool windows, different windows. They have ghosts in them. They have spider webs. And I love this deep moody green and on it. Just beautiful with the black. Another dark background with the moody green vines and pumpkins. The cool thing about this, I don't know if it shows up on camera, but there's little orange eyes in between everywhere, like little creatures hiding and laughing. Love that one. I love a fabric collection, especially for something like Halloween where you can have a conversation about every print. Then we have the pumpkin patch. So all the pumpkins in the grass. Some of them are already turned into jack-o'-lanterns, so they're a little spooky. But I love the vibrancy of the actual pumpkins, like really bright orange, that really golden orange. So pretty. And then we'll finish off with one of the florals. Beautiful base. So this is more of a deep coffee, dark brown base. Very warm, especially with all the orange in it. And then the sage greens, lavender, pink. Just love this. So who agrees with me here? Is this fun or is this fun? Cannot wait to play with this.
Totally fun.
So let's do my fabric pull. So these 1 yards would be a great fit in here to mix in. Of course, if you want to find this, all you got to do is go to the collection page of Ghostly Haunted, click on the product page, and then all these 1 yards will be listed below. You can flip through them and see what I pulled with it. With the lights, I started with a seedling longan that is an art gallery fabric, so it's going to have the same feel of the fabric, and it's beautiful, has a little bit of that lavendery gray dots in it, so it's perfect. Another option, a little bit more cream, is dry brush whipped cream, because it has a little creamier tone, and this one has a little taupey tone, so this will be another great mix too. For the pinks and lavenders, I kind of went two routes. Some of them, this is a very light one. This is Serenity Light Pink. This was one of our Color Club colors, but this will really get all those light pinks everywhere. Very subtle, still read very light. And then another one for a little bit deeper. This is Dreams in the Lilac. So you'll see it pulls out some of the more bluer tones everywhere. So it would be another great fit. Deco Stitch Lilac Dust is another art gallery basic. Works perfectly with some of the lilac tones, a little bit more muted. And then I couldn't really resist these seedling prints here in these shades are perfect in here. So I couldn't leave one out. So we have the mauve, seedling mauve is kind of the lightest, but as you can see, it works perfectly with those deeper tones and lighter tones. Let me bring these down. And then we have plum, seedling in the plum. That'll give you some of that deeper plummy tones. And then I pulled in one more. If you want to go a little bit darker, a little bit more blue, this is Huckleberry, such a beautiful color. But if you look at the leaves in here, this is great. So any one of them or all of them, all works. Then for the greens, another Deco Stitch. This is also Art Gallery Deco Stitch Winter Spruce is almost a perfect match for that green. Love this kind of a moody green. And then we have a newer Grunge Everglade that is great as well. That deep, dark green. I had to bring in a nice brown, like a good deep brown to match this that has a little warmth to it, a little red to it. This is Grunge Iron, and it is a great match with that tone. And then for the black backgrounds, I chose the Seedling Licorice, another Art Gallery. Probably one of the fabrics that I've used. I've used it so much. It's such a great basic. Now, as far as adding some accent, I think it is pretty obvious that you'd want to go with a little accent of golden orange. So a little pop of gold, Grunge Pumpkin, great with that deeper orange tones that are throughout. And if you wanted something just a little bit lighter, if you want to go more on those lighter, sunnier oranges, Deco Stitch Soft Apricot is perfect. It's a perfect match with that. So those two would be a great addition to it. So that is Ghostly Haunted by Art Gallery Fabrics. Next up is another collection that is just beautiful, not seasonal, I would say, but this one is called Wanderlust, and it is by Create Joy for Moda. I know Wanderlust is a pretty generic name, and of course we do have another bundle in our collection that is called Wanderlust, so we're calling this Wanderlust Moda, simply. And Create Joy, she has done some amazing prints and amazing collections that we have had in the past. This one is unique for its colors. Love this kind of leaf print on this beautiful light blue back. Now, I tell you what, our Color Club collection would work great with this. This is in store now. Now, one of the things she does a lot is ombre. So this is an ombre. So it goes from the greens to a little bit of lavender, blues, and then back to the greens. So it's a great one to have in the collection in the bundle. So we added it to the bundle. Lovely, lovely. This one has just a little touch of what feels like gold, but it's not metallic. It's just, it really appears like gold. This marbling texture, love this blue, I love this print. And it's just perfect to have that in there because when you see the browns that go with this, it really makes sense. And then this was probably one of my favorite prints of the line too. I just love the white leaves on the texture background, that kind of resistance type of a print. Love that. Going into the warms, not worms, even though they kind of look like gummy worms. This print, I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be, but this is really fun. Just looks like a whole bunch of confetti, a whole bunch of colors, and I love the blues with this tone of browns. Just really pretty. Then we have a stripe. I love her very organic take on stripes every time. So this mix of watercolor and then these are actually stitches. So here's a zigzag stitch. There's some decorative stitches in here that really round this out. It's just so cool and pretty. And great to add to your quilt. That's one of the great things about half yard bundles. If you want to pull out one to use as a binding, half yard of binding will definitely bind you a lap size quilt, easy. Then we have another texture, watercolors and all kinds of fun. Love these colors, mix of colors. And then we have that same floral leafy print on the brown. Look how beautiful that is. That's so pretty. Then we have moving into the greens, but the greens will have all this variety. Isn't this gorgeous? This is another example of the ombre. She starts darker, goes into the lighter, but speckled with all these wildflowers, and then back to the same on the other side. So really, really pretty. So much fun to use and gives your quilt just more dimension and variety. We have that same print in the green that we had in the blue with that just this little wiggle of what seems like it's gold metallic, but it's not metallic. It's just that color. And then we have this beautiful woods print. Just this watercolor, pine trees, but really pretty scattering of flowers in there. And then we finish with a tone-on-tone, one of their basics. I think this grounds everything. This is flow in the beautiful pine green to pull out all those darker hues of green in the collection. I just love this. I already have a quilt planned for this collection. I'm going to make a Winnie. Nice. With a nice background, but let me show you all the fabrics I pulled with it. Starting with the light blues, I started with Bumbleberry Zenora Blue, a nice light blue that has lights and darks. And then I had kind of a mix of the other blues, so a range. So we have a dry brush in the blue for like a medium blue. I love this one in here because it's stashed in the check because of the white stars. It just makes sense with that print, doesn't it? Just makes so much sense. And then a little darker dry brush. This is, I'm not sure, I think it's just dark blue. Works perfectly in here because it tones together with all of them. For our browns, I have a few tones as well. So we have the Cosmos Brown. This was one of our caramel colors. This one kind of pulls out more of the warmer yellows in the browns. And I wanted to do one a little bit lighter because there's really a light tone. So this is Provisions in the Amber. And as you can see, there's lots of hues in there. So that would be another great pull. For the darker browns, I pulled Deco Stitch Fudge Brownie, a newer print. Great color. Perfect with these. And then one a tad bit darker. So this is Canvas Coffee Bean, just to pull out those sharp tones. This could also really work as an accent, as you can see, or even a background, because you can see how everything stands out, even this one, because it has so much white in it. For the greens, another Provisions in the Sage, nice light greens that will pull all those tones out. And then a Canvas in the Crocodile, a real olive green that really still has that tone of green that I wanted. And then one dark one I pulled in Grunge in the Pine. That is still a little bit lighter than this one, so it has some of the other tones of greens in here. For a background, yes, you could go two ways. You could definitely go dark. I wouldn't go black, but you could go even a deeper, darker brown for a background and it would still work great. But of course, with the white in these two prints, you could go pretty white. So this is Canvas Whitewash to give you a real sharp accent or a background contrast for even the lightest blues. Or you can have a little texture. This is Spotted White from Moda. Has just a little taupey texture to it. And if you needed just something that is not in here for a completely different accent, I would go with something still that makes sense. It makes sense with the greens and the browns and looks great with blues, is a gold, but still make it a little earthy and brown. And look at this one. This has a lot of green in it. This is Nitty Gritty Gold. Love these textures. It's perfect with all of these. So this is our Wanderlust. Let me show you two prints that we have in 1 yards from the Wanderlust line. This one looks like a panel, but it's actually just running yardage, this landscape. So we have it in 1 yard cut, so it will be a 36 by 42 or so with the fabric, and it's great. So you could cut this up and you'll get different texture, or you can use this on its own as a panel because it is a landscape. The second one is an ombre with a more contrast type of ombre. It has the browns and the greens and then the lights in the middle, and you could use this as a stripe. You could use this just as to cut up. It's so much fun to use these. So check those out. This is Wanderlust Moda. In our graphic here, this should be Wander with an O, but there you can see it all together with. Wander with an O or A? It's A, yeah, sorry. It's A, Wander. Wanderlust. Sorry.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. We sometimes are doing this last minute, so.
There it is.
It happens. I didn't catch that one.
Wander.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And I think there's some things spelled like wonder under or spelled with a U. Anyways.
It happens.
We thank you. This was an extra long show. I think that might be the Margarita's fault, but who knows? Do you have a live winner? Live winner, sir.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Live winner is
Julie Ruby. Congratulations, Julie. $25 gift card is yours. Just email us at help@GQuiltDesigns to claim your gift card, and we'll get it right to you. Now, I hope you have had a wonderful week. We got a great week ahead of us. Next Tuesday, we'll have our Tipsy Tuesday show, May 20th at 4 p.m. Central Time. We're going to talk about my new block of the month, Echoes of Iceland. Give you all the details. So stay tuned for that. One-Eared Wednesday will follow the next day on May 21st at 9:30 Central Time. And then, of course, we'll be back a week from today, May 23rd. May 23rd. That is Memorial Day weekend, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's it.
So,
yeah.
Can't wait to see you guys then. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. The rest of your Friday. Enjoy it. Have some, what was it, barbecue or pizza and mimosas.
Pizza and mimosas and all kinds of
Or
good
just a
things.
margarita. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Step into the groove, it's the place to stay. GE Designs got the stripology way. Quilting with the beat, you feel that heat. We're the rulers of the strips, every inch so neat. Lay your fabric here, lay it right here. Cut it right there, cut it right there. Precision in the rhythm can't help but stand. From morning to night we cut and we can. Every quilt a masterpiece, nothing can compare. GE Designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. We'll just so we can right. Measure once, cut twice. That's the funky rule. Stripology magic, yeah. It's hella cool. Turn that fabric loose, make it strut and strong. We're jamming with the quilts in control. Oh, everybody now, lift up those strings, Feel the stripology, adding flair to your life. From edge to edge, we groove through the night. Sew it up, show it off with a glorious sight. GE Designs where precision is our vibe. Cut it, slice it, make it so right. We'll just so we can love it.